at this time. Spotter information statement. Spotter activation is not expected at this time. Now for the National Weather Service marine forecast for the Chesapeake Bay from Sandy Point to North Beach. This afternoon, northwest winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts to 20 knots. The National Weather Service in Sterling, Virginia has issued a special marine warning for Tidal Potomac from Indian Head to Cobb Island, Maryland, until 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 3:29 p.m., a shower was located over Lee Sylvania State Park, moving southeast at 20 knots. Hazard, wind gusts 34 knots or greater and small hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, boaters and small craft could be thrown overboard by suddenly higher winds and waves capsizing their vessel. Locations impacted include Quantico, Whitewater, Midland Point, United States. 301 Nice Memorial Bridge, Maryland Point, Nanjemoy Creek, Occoquan Bay, Port Tobacco River, Lee Sylvania State Park, Smallwood State Park, Pope's Creek, and Fairview Beach. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. This is the NOAA Weather Radio All Hazards Station KHB36, broadcasting from the Point, Gibson Island in mouth of the Potomac River. A statement from the National Weather. The National Weather Service in Sterling, Virginia has issued a special marine warning for Tidal Potomac from Indian Head to Cobb Island, Maryland, Tidal Potomac from Key Bridge to Indian Head, Maryland, until 4:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 3:39 p.m., a shower was located 15 nautical miles west of Key Bridge, moving southeast at 30 knots. Hazard, wind gusts 34 knots or greater and small hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, boaters and small craft could be thrown overboard by suddenly higher winds and waves capsizing their vessel. Locations impacted include Fort Washington, Tidal Basin, Reagan National Airport, Gunston Hall, Mason Neck State Park, Woodrow Wilson Bridge, Indian Head, Key Bridge, Occoquan Bay, Fort Hunt, National Harbor, and Alexandria. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Washington. Capable of producing winds to around 30 knots and small hail. These showers were located along the line extending from The National Weather Service in Sterling, Virginia has issued a special marine warning for Tidal Potomac from Cobb Island, Maryland to Smith Point, Virginia, Tidal Potomac from Indian Head to Cobb Island, Maryland, until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 4:01 p.m., a shower was located over Nanjemoy Creek, moving southeast at 25 knots. Hazard, wind gusts 34 knots or greater and small hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, boaters and small craft could be thrown overboard by suddenly higher winds and waves capsizing their vessel. Locations impacted include Breton Bay, St. Clements Bay, Westmoreland State Park, Maryland Point, Nanjemoy Creek, Port Tobacco River, Cobb Island, Swan Point, Colton's Point, Namini Bay, Midland Point, Coles Point, United States. 301 Nice Memorial Bridge, Wicomico River, White Point Beach, Pope's Creek, and Colonial Beach. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Showers approaching the waters. The areas affected include Chesapeake Bay from Drum Point, Maryland to Smith Point, Virginia, Chesapeake Bay from North Beach to Drum Point, Maryland, Chesapeake Bay from Pools Island to Sandy Point, Maryland, Chesapeake Bay from Sandy Point to North Beach, Maryland, Chesapeake Bay north of Island, Maryland, Chester River to Queenstown, Maryland, Choptank River to Cambridge, Maryland, and the Little Choptank River, Eastern Bay, Patapsco River including Baltimore Harbor, Pawtuxet River to Brooms Island, Maryland, Tangier Sound and the inland waters surrounding Bloodsworth Island.